So ADA's tapped even deeper within this target that I set out in my previous video, and that target sits between 54.96 cents to 56.49 cents. And this target is for this correction move to the downside that I've been tracking, where I'm looking out for a bigger WXY structure. And of course, this target is a 50 to 88.2% retracement of this wave here. And since tapping into this region, you can see that we've ended up seeing a move to the upside where we then breached past this key level at 58.57 cents, and that then triggered a breaker structure on smart money concept, which then further confirmed that we were on a bullish trend. And since reaching this local top at 59.05 cents, we then saw this dip to the downside where we've once again tapped into this region here. And so it will be interesting to see what structure is actually playing out right now, because it's still possible that we have a bigger WXY structure that's forming right now where we are currently within a Y wave. So if I draw that out, so this would be the W wave, this would be the X wave, and this would be the Y wave. And then that Y wave would then be made up of a WXY structure, where that would be the W wave, this would be the X wave, and then we'll see a Y wave play out also. And so for this structure to be in play, what we need is for ADA to not breach past the 88.2% retracement level of this structure here. And so if I bring in the fib tool, you can see that the 88.2% retracement level sits at 56.01 cents. And so if we end up breaching past that level, then it's possible that this structure is actually invalid. And instead, what could be in place right now is a bigger WXY structure, where that Y wave would have topped off over here at 59.05 cents, and we could be within a correction move to the downside, and then we'll see that push to the upside to make up that Y wave. And so essentially we'll have something to this effect here. And so if that's the case, then again, the X wave will typically retrace anywhere between 50% to 88.2% of the W wave. And so ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between 55.02 cents to 56.73 cents. And of course, we have tapped into that region. And then that would then make up the X wave, and then I'll be looking out for a push to the upside to then make up the Y wave, where we then tap into this region. But of course, this region will be slightly adjusted depending on how deep the X wave goes. And you can also see that if this move is in play, that will then breach past this key level at 59.36 cents. And that will then trigger a breaker structure and a change of character, which will then further confirm that we are on a bullish trend. And so from there, it will be interesting to see if we have a bigger WXY structure that will form, where we then tap into this region, and that will then make up the Y wave that I'm tracking at the moment, where I'm looking at for a bigger WXY structure. Now here you can see that we are within oversold conditions, and so I am looking at for a reversal to the upside, where the bulls can regain control of the market and drive the price of ADA up towards this region here. And if I quickly go on the 4-hour chart, what you can see is, of course, the bears have had the momentum, and of course that's reflected on the price chart where we've seen lower lows. And so again, I am looking at for the bulls to regain control of the market. And ideally, I'd like to see ADA then find support at the 50 EMA and then see a continuation to the upside where we then breach into this region here. And it will be interesting to see if when we do tap into, or if we tap into this region, that will then coincide with the 200 EMA, and then we get rejected, and then we see that reversal to the downside, followed by a final push to the upside, where before we see that push to the upside, we actually find support at the 50 EMA, and then see that bounce to the upside when we then tap into this region. But of course, that's something that's going to happen in the days to come, and that's something I'm going to be tracking also. And so, yeah, that's just my update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.